Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of colors by the Newark Police Department Honor Guard. Thank you, and please be seated. Welcome. For the consideration of our graduates and families, we ask that you please silence all mobile devices during the ceremony. Please also refrain from photography or video near the stage area. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Dr. Coe.
Good evening, everyone. The faculty, candidates, and guests of Central Ohio Technical College are assembled, and I now proclaim the August 2012 commencement ceremony to be officially in session. Before we proceed, I want to call your attention to the many flags that you see surrounding the stage. These are the flags from the countries of origin represented by our diverse student population. The college recognizes and values diversity, and we have enjoyed the increasing diversity in recent years. We display these flags proudly at campus events, and that is a tribute to the varied cultures that flourish on this campus. It also gives me great pleasure this evening to introduce members of the Central Ohio Technical College Board of Trustees. Trustees are appointed by the governor of the state of Ohio and by local school boards. As I call your name, please remain standing for recognition. Cheryl L. Snyder. Barry M. Riley. Let us show our appreciation. It is now my pleasure to introduce Cheryl Snyder, Chairperson of the Central Ohio Technical College Board of Trustees, to offer comments on behalf of our entire board.
Thank you, Dr. Coe. Good evening, graduates. Good evening to your family and your friends. It is indeed an honor to be among you tonight on this very meaningful milestone occasion. Your graduation is especially gratifying as it represents the culmination of our purpose of our work at COTC. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, we offer hearty congratulations to each and every one of you. We are thrilled with your impressive accomplishments. In addition to the flags that are behind me, there are a few highlights specific to your graduating class that I thought you might find of interest. I'm pleased to share with you that the number of graduates at this first ever summer commencement ceremony is more than 200. Your graduating class proudly represents 21 of the 88 counties in Ohio, another indication of the diverse reach that COTC has within our state. The age range of your class spans 5 decades. Many of you have chosen a course in nursing, as the majority of this graduating class is either earning an associate's degree in nursing or a practical nursing certificate. Graduates, before I leave you to go on with the rest of this important milestone occasion, I would urge you to stay connected to COTC. Your active engagement in the alumni program is welcomed, and we expect for you to consider yourself among the many members now of the extended family of COTC. We wish you all the best, and we thank you very sincerely for choosing COTC for your education. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cheryl. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening I have the distinct honor and privilege of introducing our keynote speaker, Dr. Robbie Rhodes, Assistant Professor in English and Communications, and she is also the 2012 Teaching Excellent Award recipient. As is our tradition, this award was announced at our spring commencement. It is presented annually to the COTC full-time faculty member in recognition and promotion of teaching excellence. In nominating Dr. Rhodes for this award, one student commented, quote, "Apart from being highly intelligent and always prepared, she was a joy to be around. She is one of the best college professors I've had so far in my entire college career," end quote. Dr. Rhodes has taught at COTC since September of 2010. A Columbus resident, She holds both a PhD and an MA in English from The Ohio State University. She also earned a BA in English from Oklahoma State University. Prior to joining COTC, Dr. Rhodes was an adjunct faculty member at both Franklin University and Columbus State Community College. As evidenced by her students' comments about her teaching, Dr. Rhodes exemplifies integrity. In an interview regarding the Teaching Excellence Award, Dr. Rhodes stated, quote, "I strive to learn from the examples of hard work, community, and compassion that my students and colleagues demonstrate every day," end quote. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Robbie Rhodes.
Good evening and welcome, graduates. It is an honor and a privilege to share this special event with you and your families. When I was asked to speak at this event, there were so many possibilities for topics to address that I have to admit I was a little intimidated at first. To my surprise, the answer came as my grandma and I were watching the Olympic Games. My grandmother, who is in her early 70s, came with me on the 16-hour drive from my hometown of Chickasha, Oklahoma, to Ohio last week to spend some time with me. During the day, we went to the Columbus Zoo and Aquarium, shopped at the Lenox Town Center, and made a tour of COTC. My grandma made the usual signs of support and interest that one would expect from a grandmother supporting her granddaughter. She took pictures of my office in Adena Hall and took the opportunity to straighten up my bookshelves and desk. In the evenings, though, we always came back to my apartment, opened a pack of strawberry Twizzlers, and settled in to watch the Olympics. Just for the sake of context, I should mention that I've watched the Olympic Games every session since I was 4, and I often recall events from my own life based on the events of the Games. I made drum major in my junior high band the year that Christy Yamaguchi won the gold in figure skating in the 1992 Winter Games. I passed my master's examinations about a month before the opening of the 2004 Summer Games in Athens, and I experienced a bit of a disappointment when I didn't get to watch the 2008 Beijing Olympics because I was defending my dissertation during the Games. Last week was the first time since the 1996 Games that I had the opportunity to watch the Olympics with my grandma. Our primary reason for watching the Olympics, for devoting hours to the event every time that it airs, is the desire to support the athletes as they achieve their firsts. This year did not let us down. My grandma and I watched as Oscar Pistorius, a runner from South Africa, became the first double amputee to compete in a track and field event. Gabby Douglas became the first African-American woman to win the women's all-around in gymnastics. The U.S. women's gymnastics team, popularly known as the Fab Five, became the first women's gymnastics team to win Olympic gold in the team competition since the Magnificent Seven of 1996. The impulse that makes me get to my feet, cheer, and occasionally, I'll admit it, scream and wave wildly for my favorite athletes is the same impulse that makes me eager to come to class each day at COTC. Every year, I have the privilege to see the students of COTC achieve their firsts, and I feel the same thrill of excitement every time it happens. I would like to share 2 particular firsts with you this evening. Both of them come from graduates of COTC, and while I've changed the names of the students, the challenges that they have overcome may have some resemblance to your own experiences. When Anne walked into my composition class, she had the bearing of a person who had faced more than her fair share of obstacles and who had still managed to pick up and keep going with each challenge. Naturally reserved, she didn't talk much in class in the beginning, preferring to listen to other students. Despite her quiet nature, Anne quickly became more animated when we discussed Joe Goodwin Parker's essay, "What is Poverty?" Parker describes in almost painful detail the physical particulars of living in poverty, even going so far as to describe the smells of her apartment that result from her inability to provide even the most basic necessities for her family. Anne's engagement with the essay and her descriptions of the financial and emotional features of living in poverty seem too detailed to be general observations. But it was not until I read Anne's first essay that I understood why she connected with Jo Goodwin Parker's work so easily. Anne, who was in her late 20s at the time that she took my class, had always wanted to go to college and become a nurse, but a pregnancy at the age of 16 forced her to put that dream on hold. She soon dropped out of school and married the father of her child. She went on to have 2 more children during the course of her marriage. Anne occasionally worked part-time, but for the most part she was a stay-at-home mom, a role that she enjoyed because it allowed her to spend time with her 3 young children. Things were going very well until shortly after her daughter turned 11. Her husband lost his job and turned to alcohol as a source of comfort. When Anne and her children became the victims of physical abuse at the hands of her husband, Anne decided she had to get out. With no formal job training, no high school diploma, and no financial resources, she fled from her home with her 3 children and sought help from a local women's shelter. Anne received assistance from social services to find low-income housing. For the next 2 years, she worked a part-time job, and while she could not afford luxuries, she was able to make ends meet. Anne also received counseling as part of her social assistance, and it was during one of the sessions with her counselor that her life would change. While Anne and her counselor had discussed the effects of the abuse that she experienced, they had not talked about her future or goals. When Anne's counselor asked her if she had ever thought about getting her GED and going to college, Anne just chuckled and said, "College? That's for my children to do." She thought that this was the end of the conversation, but soon that old desire to go to college was rekindled, and she concluded that it would set a good example for her kids if she went to college. Within 6 months, Anne received her GED and enrolled in classes at COTC. Although she became a qualified STNA and had more consistent employment after getting her GED, Anne's financial problems did not disappear when she went to college. She woke up every morning praying that the car would start so that she could get the kids to school and take herself to school and work. Every time one of her children needed to go to the doctor or dentist, she would struggle to scrape together the funds to get them the care that they needed. Like Jo Goodwin Parker, Anne knew what it was like to worry about her children's next meal would come from, about whether she would have her house next month, and whether she would ever have the luxury of planning more than a few days in advance. Despite these challenges, Anne graduated from COTC and became a registered nurse in Ohio. She now has a job with opportunities for advancement and enjoys greater financial security than she did before attending college. I recently had the chance to catch up with Anne, and my conversation with her reminded me just how many of our firsts rely on the help of others. I asked her what the defining moment was in her decision to go to college. She replied, "It was when the counselor asked me if I wanted to go. That was the first time since high school that anyone had asked me. If she hadn't asked, I wouldn't be here." Anne, like many of you here tonight, demonstrated great determination in achieving her goals. Anne, like many of you here, also had the help of at least one person in defining and achieving those goals. In some instances, students come to school with a definite goal in mind, but do not recognize all of their talents when they begin their educational journey. This was the case for Ryan, who came to COTC with the goal of getting a degree in social services. On the very first day of composition class, Ryan was absolutely emphatic in telling me that he was not a good writer. His rough drafts often began with an apology and a reminder that he tended to struggle with writing. All of this was a bit puzzling to me, considering that Ryan repeatedly produced essays with excellent research and analysis. I couldn't understand why a student who was clearly a talented writer would insist that he was deficient in this area. After the end of the quarter, I went back and looked over Ryan's old work. I realized that while Ryan's arguments were clear and concise, they were almost completely devoid of any strong personal investment in the topics that he selected for the essays. This might account for why he did not have much confidence in his written work. I was disappointed that I didn't suspect this before, but soon realized that I would have a second chance. Ryan had signed up for my technical writing class. One of the assignments for the class is the production of a brochure for a public audience with the intention of drawing attention to a product, service, or social cause. Before he started the assignment, I sat down with Ryan and asked him to identify a topic that related to his own experience and goals. To my surprise, Ryan said that he would produce a brochure for an organization that raised money for children with severe degenerative diseases. Ryan was an active participant in the organization because his son had a degenerative illness and he wanted to raise money for research and treatment. He said he used his personal experience and his research skills to produce the brochure. Following his graduation, the organization for which Ryan volunteered liked his brochure and decided to use it in their fundraising efforts. Ryan has gone on to pursue a 4-year degree, but just before he graduated, I asked him why he had been so insistent on rejecting his writing abilities. He grinned sheepishly and said, "If I had admitted that I was a good writer, then I would have to own it. I would have to practice it and use it. It was easier to believe that I was not good at writing." When I asked him what changed his mind, he replied, "My kids are the reason that I first thought about using my writing skills. You do anything for your kids. You bring all of your skills to the table to help them, even if it isn't one that you are confident about." Anne and Ryan's stories are just 2 examples of students at COTC achieving their goals in spite of adverse circumstances. As a teacher, I get to see many of the firsts that lead to these accomplishments, from a first A on an essay, to a first scholarship, to a student becoming the first one in the family to receive a college degree. Each of you here tonight has a first that contributed to your current achievements. As you leave the college to pursue your lives and careers, we encourage you to help future students create their firsts by participating in the Central Ohio Technical College Alumni Program. This program provides opportunities for COTC graduates to contribute their talents and input to the growth and future of the college. As you look ahead to the future, making new plans and achieving new goals, remember that we will always be here cheering for you at COTC. Congratulations, graduates. Now go out and find your new first.
I just said to Dr. Rhodes, thank you so much for those encouraging comments. Thank you. We will now recognize those students that are graduating with special distinction. Thank you.
It is my pleasure this evening to recognize those students graduating with honors. To help you appreciate the difficulty and excellence of their achievement, let me note that on the college's grading scale, a perfect 4.0 average indicates that the student received straight A's and only A's. The students graduating with honors have earned an overall grade point average of 3.5 or higher out of a possible 4.0. The names of students who have achieved this level of performance are indicated in the commencement program. Also, Central Ohio Technical College honor graduates can be recognized by the gold tassels on their caps. Will all of the Central Ohio Technical College honor graduates please rise? Thank you. Please be seated. Other honor graduates are members of the Phi Theta Kappa, the International Honor Society of two-year colleges. These students maintain at least a 3.25 grade point average and are involved in numerous service projects on campus and in the community. Phi Theta Kappa students are wearing gold stoles. Will all of the Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society graduates please rise? And now it is my privilege to recognize those students who are graduating as veterans or members of the United States military. Military veterans are identified by red, white, and blue tassels. We honor and appreciate you for serving our country. Please stand and be recognized. As I call your degree or certificate, please rise. Audience members, we kindly ask that you hold your applause until all of the candidates have been recognized. Will all of the candidates for the degree Associates of Applied Business and Business Management Technology please rise and be recognized? You may be seated. The holding of the applause thing may have not worked exactly as we asked, but we'll continue to work on that. Will all of the candidates for the degree Associates of Applied Science and Criminal Justice Technology please rise and be recognized? You may be seated. Will all of the candidates for the degree Associates of Applied Science in Diagnostic Medical Sonography Technology please rise and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree Associates of Applied Science in Digital Media Design Technology please rise and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidate for the degree Associates of Applied Science in Early Childhood Education Technology please rise and be recognized? Congratulations. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree Associates of Applied Science in Electromechanical Engineering Technology please rise and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidate for the degree Associates of Applied Science in Electronic Engineering Technology please rise and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidate for the degree Associates of Applied Science in Forensic Science Technology please rise and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Will all of the candidates for the degree Associates of Applied Science in Human Services please rise and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree Associates of Applied Science in Information Technology please rise and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Will all of the candidates for the degree Associates of Applied Science in Nursing Technology please rise and be recognized? Woo! Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidates for the degree Associates of Arts please rise and be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. Will the candidate for the Certificate in Practical Nursing please rise and be recognized? Thank you. Will the candidate for the Certificate in Surgical Technology please rise and be recognized? Thank you. Will all of the candidates please rise? And recommend on behalf of the faculty of Central Ohio Technical College these candidates who have completed all of the requirements for the Associates of Applied Business degree, Associates of Applied Science degree, Associate of Arts degree, Practical Nursing Certificate, and Surgical Technology Certificate.
Thank you, Dr. Berry. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Central Ohio College Board of Trustees and the State of Ohio, I confer upon you the appropriate degrees, certificates, with all of the rights and privileges and duties pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Let's give our candidates a round of applause. You may be seated. In recognition examination of the degrees and certificates just conferred, the diplomas will now be handed out.
Lynette Ray Dobson with honors. Sherry Lynn Anderson with honors. Robin Lynn Bussey with honors. Kaylee Ann Clausen. Christopher Michael Cox with honors. Wendy Jo Eister. Heather Lynn Farrell. Krista Eve Frenton with honors. Mary Catherine Hughes. Leandra Lee Loudermilk. Amanda Lee Lucas. Brenda Dawn Miller with honors. Tabitha S. Ray. Brian Tyler Seward. Sheila Eileen Walters with honors. Adam G. Warner with honors. Kelly Annette Woods. Paul Michael Doddridge. Madeline Frances May with honors. Cindy Gail Amor with honors. Clark. Tristan Nicole Deem. Kevin Michael Holly. Heather Renee Dowd with honors. Ashley N. Evoy with honors. Amanda Renee Frederick with honors. Angela Mae Gibson. Erica Marie Holly with honors. Tara Nicole Hughes with honors. Sarah Rose Miller with honors. Archina Rajendran with honors. Sierra Krista Smith with honors. Danielle Elizabeth West with honors. Kara T. Naroski. Nathan David Bartley with honors. Jessica Lynn McCann. Joseph Frederick Rowe. Jenna Davis. Jason Keith Percy. Brian E. Miracle with honors. Kevin Michael Breitenbaum with honors. Arietta Louise House. Brianna Marie Fabro. Samantha Gehrman. Lindsay Dale Hoover. Rachel D. Markley. Amanda Lynn Percoco. Rodney Trevor Robertson. Roberta L. Stockton. Chelsea Yvonne Zabonik. John David Butcher, with honors. Randy Joshua Smith. Wangi Arter. Isaac Assuming Tawia, with honors. Earl Allen Borders. Stephen Kipolimo Bungei. Elizabeth Ann Carpenter. Janet Rebecca Charles. Joshua Wayne Eberhardt. Margie G. Gooden. Sandra Ann Helser. Stephen Frederick Kale, with honors. Brittany Lachey Keith, with honors. Allison Lee Crocker, with honors. Melissa Ann Kuhn. Lindsay Elizabeth Long. Nicole Marie McCulley. Kara Lindsay McAllister. Claudia Christina Mecklin. Megan Elizabeth Miracle. Jennifer Lynn O'Brien, with honors. Wubet Belachu Shibaba, with honors. Gail Sweetman. Kimberly Sue Dunlap. Janae Marie Stuhlfire. Sarah Elizabeth Mitchell.
At this time, I would like to ask the graduates to please rise. This step, what I want to say is that in keeping with academic tradition, you may now transfer your tassels from right to left. A symbol that you are now a graduate of Central Ohio Technical College, and we are going to ask that let's give our graduates one more round of applause. And the graduates, forgive me, I'm sorry. As we celebrate with you tonight, I want to take just a moment to reflect upon the challenges that each of you has likely endured in order to reach this very moment. Your sense of responsibility and perseverance undoubtedly paved the way to meeting those challenges. There is a wonderful quotation about challenge, and I quote, "True happiness comes from facing challenges and going out on a limb and taking risks," end quote. At our June commencement ceremony, Dr. John Berry asked the graduates to raise their hands if they had to overcome obstacles in order to earn their degree. And nearly every single hand went up. We really were not surprised. Each of you here tonight has made sacrifices to reach this goal. Your college is no stranger to challenges. As you may know, COTC and The Ohio State University at Newark have been blessed with a wonderful gift, one that will impact students through scholarships for years to come. That was through the Next Generation Challenge campaign. The campaign culminated with a final donation, a single final donation that propelled the grand total past the $20 million mark. Through the generosity of philanthropists Jay Gilbert and Luella H. Reese, every gift and every pledge was matched dollar for dollar to provide scholarship support for future students. Words cannot even express the gratitude to everyone assembled here tonight who helped make this scholarship campaign a tremendous success. You have made history. As every commencement ceremony represents an incredible milestone for our graduates, it is also an achievement for the college faculty, staff, and administration. These folks work daily on your behalf. The faculty plays a crucial role in bringing the graduates to this important milestone in life. At this time, I would like to ask that all of our faculty members please rise for recognition. The staff members of Central Ohio Technical College are also an integral part of our students' success. Would all of our college staff members please rise for recognition? Thank you. Without the support and encouragement of family and friends, most students would not have even had the opportunity to attend Central Ohio Technical College. Will the families and friends of our graduates please stand for recognition? Express my personal appreciation to the Commencement Planning Committee under the leadership of Stephen Niesta. He is part of our Marketing and Public Relations Department, as well as the many members of the campus community who helped to make this occasion a night to remember. Most of them, not all, but most of them are standing right over there along the wall, so let's extend our appreciation. At this time, I will ask the Assembly to please remain seated for a few closing remarks from Dr. John Berry.
Thank you, Dr. Coe. Ladies and gentlemen, it is always my distinct pleasure and honor to bring some closure to tonight's ceremony. And this is where it becomes a little less formal, but also somewhat very important at the same time. So graduates, this is my chance to speak directly to you. I'm going to impart some words upon you of advice and recommendation of what you could or should do. And then I'll leave you also with some words of what we wish for you. This may sound like a little bit of whimsy, but please pay attention to the words I'm about to share. This is entitled, "Be the best of whatever you are." If you can't be a pine on top of the hill, be a scrub in the valley, but be the best little scrub by the side of the rill. Be a bush if you can't be a tree. If you can't be a bush, be a bit of the grass, and some highway happier make. If you can't be a muskie, then just be a bass. but be the liveliest bass in the lake. We can't all be captains, we've got to be crew. There's something for all of us here. There's big work to do and there's lesser to do. And the task you must do is the near. If you can't be a highway, then just be a trail. If you can't be the sun, be a star. It isn't by size that you will win or you fail. Be the best of whatever you are. Ladies and gentlemen, you've all proven that you can be successful. Now we demand upon you to be something significant. Whatever it is that you choose to do, and all of you have chosen a path, a career goal, a career objective. Be the best at whatever you are. What we tell you now, may you have the following. May you have enough happiness to keep you sweet, enough trails to keep you strong, enough sorrows to keep you human, enough hope to keep you happy, enough failure to keep you humble, enough success to keep you eager, enough friends to give you comfort, enough wealth to meet your needs, enough enthusiasm to look forward, enough faith to banish depressions, and finally enough determination to make each and every day better than yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a very special day for each and every one of you. But our challenge to you is to make every day something special, something significant. Congratulations to each one of you, and thank you very much.
Thank you, John. This concludes the Summer 2012 Commencement Ceremony of Central Ohio Technical College. Please remain seated until the platform party, the faculty, and the graduates have recessed. I now direct the recessional to begin.